Maritime Academy. Introduction to Maritime Law, Foundation, Enforcement, Conventions, Trade Law. Foundations of International Maritime Law and Enforcement Procedures. Chapter 1. Formation of International Maritime Law. The importance of maritime law. The sea has long been a hub for human activities, from trade and transportation to fishing and resource extraction. This vast body of water plays a vital role in human life. However, unregulated activities at sea can lead to insecurity, maritime hazards, environmental damage, and violations of seafarers' human rights. In response to these challenges, international maritime law has emerged as a body of rules and regulations to govern the seas. A thorough understanding of these laws is essential for all seafarers, as it ensures the safety of themselves, passengers, cargo, and the marine environment. If you want to know what maritime laws typically cover, some of the most important include maritime safety and environmental protection, the rights and duties of seafarers, and maritime trade. Each of these topics will be discussed in detail in subsequent chapters. Sources of maritime law. Since ships typically enter the ports of different countries, international agreements are necessary to ensure uniformity and reduce conflicts in laws. Therefore, maritime laws can be divided into national and international components, which are referred to as sources of maritime law. National sources. These are the domestic laws and regulations enacted by each country. International sources. International sources are more diverse than domestic laws and include international treaties. These are usually conventions adopted through international organizations, such as the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, or the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS. Customary international law, rules that arise from the consistent practice of states and are accepted as law. International judicial decisions. Judgments of international courts such as the International Court of Justice. Since the national laws of each country vary, this book focuses on international law. However, an overview of domestic Iranian maritime law is essential. Among the three sources of international law, international organizations play a crucial role in developing international maritime treaties. Therefore, this chapter introduces some of the international organizations involved in maritime affairs. These organizations typically develop maritime laws in the following forms: conventions, protocols, amendments, recommendations, codes, guidelines, resolutions. In the next chapter, we will discuss the most important maritime conventions and codes that seafarers need to know, including SOLAS, MARPOL, and others. The role of international organizations in creating international maritime law. Numerous international organizations have played a role in developing international maritime law, but some organizations, such as the United Nations, the International Maritime Organization IMO, the International Labor Organization ILO, and the International Maritime Committee have been more significant. The United Nations, UN. The United Nations has played a pivotal role in the development and evolution of international maritime law. Established in 1945, this international organization currently has 193 member states. The most significant achievement of this organization in this area is the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, which was adopted in 1982 and will be discussed in detail in the next chapter. The primary mission of this organization is to maintain international peace and security. Two specialized maritime agencies of the United Nations are International Maritime Organization IMO, responsible for the safety and security of shipping and the prevention of marine pollution. International Labor Organization ILO sets labor standards for seafarers. International Maritime Organization IMO, the International Maritime Organization IMO, as the most specialized international body in the field of maritime affairs, has played an unparalleled role since 1958 by bringing together representatives of member states to develop and implement laws and regulations. The main tasks of this organization are to develop and adopt conventions, protocols, guidelines, and recommendations on the safety and security of shipping and the protection of the marine environment. Some of the IMO conventions are as follows, which some of them will be explained in detail in the next chapter. The 5 important instruments of IMO are conventions, protocols, amendments, recommendations, codes and guidelines, resolutions. Conventions. A convention is a written agreement with several parts. Conventions form a major part of maritime affairs governed by the IMO. The following are some of the conventions of the IMO, which some of them will be discussed at length in the next chapter. International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS. International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, MARPOL. International Convention on Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers, STCW. International Convention on Search and Rescue, SAR. International Convention on Tonnage Measurement of Ships, 1969, Tonnage Convention. International Convention on Load Lines, 1966, 1988. International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, COLREG, 1972. International Convention on the Control of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediments, Ballast Water Management Convention, etc. Protocols. Protocol is an important instrument used by the IMO to introduce changes to conventions, which are already adopted but not yet entered into force. For example, SOLAS Convention, 1973, was amended twice, using protocols by 1978 SOLAS Protocol. Amendments. As mentioned above, amendments are major changes that are brought into action using protocols. Amendments are the reforms that are needed in a convention and are backed by the protocols. Recommendations, codes, and guidelines. Recommendations are mainly guidelines which are not legally accepted. Codes and guidelines can be both mandatory and non-mandatory. Codes such as ISM code, IMDG code, and IBC code are mandatory and are a part of a parent convention or protocol. Resolutions. Resolutions are the finalized documents which are accepted by the IMO or any of the main body under IMO. They generally result from an agreement on a recommendation or amendment. IMO resolutions are adopted by the key organs and committees of the organization. IMO committees. Maritime Safety Committee, MSC. The Maritime Safety Committee, MSC, deals with all matters related to maritime safety and maritime security and human element issues. includes updating the SOLAS Convention and related codes. Marine Environment Protection Committee, MEPC. The Marine Environment Protection Committee, MEPC, addresses environmental issues under IMO's remit. This includes the control and prevention of ship source pollution covered by the MARPOL Treaty, including oil, chemicals, carried in bulk, sewage, garbage, and emissions from ships, including air pollutants and greenhouse gas emissions. Other matters covered include ballast water management, anti-fouling systems, ship recycling, pollution preparedness and response, and identification of special areas and particularly sensitive sea areas. Technical Cooperation Committee, TC. Legal Committee, LC. Facilitation Committee. IMO number. Company IMO number, ship IMO number. Ownership company and technical management company of a ship to have IMO number. The IMO ship identification to enhancing maritime safety and pollution prevention and to facilitate the prevention of maritime fraud. SOLAS, Chapter 11, Part 1, Regulation 3, requires ships' identification numbers to be permanently marked in a visible place, either on the ship's hull or superstructure. International Labor Organization, ILO. Another source of international maritime law is the International Labor Organization, a specialized agency of the United Nations. The ILO's primary maritime function is to set standards for decent work for seafarers. The most important maritime convention developed by the ILO is the Maritime Labor Convention 2006, which will be detailed in the following chapter. International Maritime Committee, IMC. The International Maritime Committee is an international non-governmental and non-profit organization established in Antwerp in 1897. Its goal is to contribute to all appropriate means and activities for the unification of maritime law, mostly in maritime trade law. Over the years, the International Maritime Committee has played a role in the preparation and adoption of a number of important international treaties, which have subsequently been implemented by states in their national laws. These treaties include the following: Collision Convention 1910, Hague Rules 1924, Hague-Visby Rules, Arrest Convention 1952/1999, Salvage Convention 1910-1989, York-Antwerp Rules 1974/1994, Maritime Lines and Mortgages Conventions 1926/1967/1993, etc. Enforcement procedures. Flag state. After understanding how international maritime laws are formulated, a fundamental question arises. How are these laws enforced and guaranteed? In this regard, two key roles exist: the flag state as the primary custodian of ships, and the port state as the custodian of ports. Each of these states has significant duties and obligations regarding the enforcement of these laws. However, the ultimate responsibility for enforcing these laws lies with the states. Therefore, in this section, we will discuss the role of states in ensuring the enforcement of maritime laws. Flag state. Just as every person has the nationality of a country, every ship must have the nationality of a country to navigate international waters and must fly the flag of that country. This country is called the flag state and has jurisdiction and full control over that ship according to the UNCLOS Convention, which will be explained in next chapter. Ship's nationality. The nationality of a ship is determined by the flag it flies. This is done by registering the ship in the flag state and creating a genuine link between the ship and that state. Duties of the flag state. Once a ship is registered in a country, the flag state is responsible for ensuring that the ship complies with international law. In addition to this, the flag state has other duties in relation to that ship, which generally include ensuring that the ship complies with international regulations, exercising jurisdiction and control over the ship, ensuring the safety of the ship at sea, protecting the marine environment, preventing the illegal operation of the ship, issuing necessary certificates. Ship Registration Certificate. The Ship Registration Certificate is an official and mandatory document that specifies the details of the ship, including the ship's name and IMO number, and the nationality of a ship from a specific state flag state. The owner or owners of the ship are also officially introduced in this document. Flags of convenience or open registries. It's important to know that some countries prohibit the registration of ships for owners of foreign nationality. Ships registered under the flag of a country other than the country of their owner are called ships of convenience. Ship owners, for various reasons such as tax avoidance, reduced costs, and greater freedom of operation, register their ships under flags of convenience. However, this practice has drawbacks such as weaker control and greater risk to safety and the environment. Many countries are known as flags of convenience countries, including Panama, Cyprus, Malta, Marshall Islands, Liberia, and others. Flag State Control Inspection. As mentioned in the previous section, the primary source of international maritime law is international conventions. However, it should be noted that each country can adopt regulations that go beyond those in the conventions to which it is a party, or exempt itself from part of the provisions of the convention. Therefore, seafarers must also be familiar with the maritime laws of the flag state and keep themselves updated on the latest changes. In order to ensure that the ship complies with maritime laws and regulations and ultimately issue statutory certificates, periodic inspections and physical inspections of the ship are carried out by inspectors of the flag state. Although some of these tasks, due to the extensive technical details and limited access to ships, are often delegated to recognized organizations, or usually classification societies, which will be explained in the following sections. Port State Control Regime. After the flag state, the port state, as the custodian of ports, plays a key role in ensuring the enforcement of international maritime law. Origin of the Port State Control Regime. The Port State Control Regime emerged as a response to the risks posed by unsafe ships operating on the high seas owned by irresponsible owners or flag states. This regime, through periodic port inspections of foreign ships, helps to enhance their compliance with international standards and ensure the safety of voyages, as ships may not return to the ports of their flag states for long periods. Port State Control. Port State Control refers to inspections conducted by local port authorities on foreign ships within their jurisdiction. The primary objective of these inspections is to assist flag states in ensuring that ships comply with the requirements of international maritime conventions, including the SOLAS, Safety of Life at Sea, and MARPOL, Prevention of Pollution from Ships conventions, among others. Regional Memoranda of Understanding on Port State Control. To strengthen cooperation in the field of port state control, countries interact with each other through Regional Memoranda of Understanding. MOU provides a framework for the exchange of information and coordination of inspection activities so that substandard ships can be better identified and removed from the region. In general, 9 Regional Memoranda of Understanding on Port State Control have been signed. The Paris MOU for the European and Black Sea region. The Tokyo MOU for Asia and the Pacific. The Acuerdo de Viña del Mar for Latin America. The Caribbean MOU. The West and Central Africa MOU. The Black Sea MOU. The Mediterranean MOU. The Indian Ocean MOU. The Riyadh MOU. The United States Coast Guard is recognized as the 10th Port State Control Regime. Iran is a member of the Indian Ocean Memorandum of Understanding. Port State Control Inspections. Countries that are party to maritime conventions can inspect foreign ships in their ports. These inspections, known as Port State Control Inspections, are distinct from flag state inspections, which are typically carried out at the request of the ship's owner to issue a certificate and are conducted to ensure compliance with international law. During Port State Control Inspections, various aspects are examined, including the ship's documents and certificates, the physical condition of the hull and equipment, the competence of the crew, the operation of safety equipment, and compliance with regulations. Inspections carried out by the Port State Control Officer are generally divided into 3 categories. Initial inspection, more detailed inspection. Expanded inspection. Each section will be explained below. Initial inspections. In an initial inspection, the inspecting officer checks the apparent condition of the deck, engine room, accommodation, documents, certificates, and the ship's hygiene. More detailed inspections. If there are clear grounds in the initial inspection indicating that the ship does not comply with legal requirements, a more detailed inspection is carried out. Clear grounds include cases such as the absence of valid certificates, the crew's unfamiliarity with safety and pollution prevention duties, deficiencies in the hull or equipment, deficiencies in safety or navigation or pollution control equipment, false distress alerts, and receipt of reports of substandard ships. Expanded inspections. An expanded inspection involves a complete and comprehensive inspection of safety, environmental protection, working conditions, and security for ships under surveillance or high-risk ships, HRS, with a maximum interval of 12 months between each inspection. High-risk ships include oil and chemical tankers, gas carriers, bulk carriers, passenger ships, and noxious liquid substance, NLS tankers. Port Clearance PC. A port clearance, PC, is an official document issued to ships by the competent authorities of the port state upon request of the ship's agent. This certificate is proof of the ship's full compliance with legal requirements and relevant regulations, and also indicates customs and financial clearance. Violations and subsequent actions. If serious deficiencies are discovered during a PSC inspection that could potentially endanger the safety or marine environment, port authorities may detain the offending vessel. The detention of the ship will continue until the deficiencies are fully rectified and compliance with international standards is ensured. Conceptual distinction between detention and arrest of a ship in maritime law. In the realm of maritime law, there are two distinct concepts: ship detention and ship arrest, each with its own objectives and procedures. Ship detention. Ship detention refers to actions taken by port authorities to enforce international maritime regulations. If a ship does not comply with the requirements of international maritime conventions, port authorities may detain it. Ship arrest. Ship arrest is carried out pursuant to a court order and based on the existence of a provable maritime claim. This court order allows the creditor to seize the ship as collateral to recover their claim. If payment is not made or sufficient security is not provided, the detained ship can be sold to satisfy the creditor's rights. Classification societies. In order to maintain safety and comply with international requirements at sea, in addition to the flag state and port state, classification societies as specialized private entities play a key role in enhancing maritime safety and protecting the environment. Recognized organizations. Since many flag states do not have the technical expertise, manpower, or global coverage to conduct all the necessary inspections and surveys with their own staff, in cases where the flag state lacks the capacity or sufficient resources to carry out inspections, assessments, and issue certificates, it can delegate these powers to classification societies or other entities. These entities are called recognized organizations. Recognized organizations on behalf of the flag state can both inspect the ship and assess the ship for the purpose of issuing certificates. Classification societies. Classification societies are independent private organizations that have a number of responsibilities, including providing assessment services, supervising the design, construction, repair, and maintenance of ships, issuing statutory certificates, certifying the compliance of the ship with the requirements of domestic laws of the flag state and international maritime conventions, developing rules and standards, developing and updating rules and standards related to the safety, construction, and operation of ships. If a classification society is approved by the flag state, it is called a recognized organization. International Association of Classification Societies, IACS. Classification societies are divided into two types: IACS members and non-IACS members. IACS, as an international body, consists of 12 leading and reputable classification societies worldwide that work to improve safety, quality, and compliance in the maritime industry. This association plays a key role in developing and updating international rules and standards related to the safety, construction, and operation of ships. The members of the International Association of Classification Societies, IACS, are listed below. Scope of classification societies. Classification societies provide a wide range of services throughout a ship's life cycle, including technical review of design plans, assessing whether design plans comply with international rules and standards, shipbuilding supervision, ensuring the quality of construction and adherence to regulations and standards during shipbuilding, inspection of critical components, quality control of crucial components such as steel, engines, generators, and castings. Attendance at sea trials and other tests evaluating the ship's performance in real-world conditions. Development of rules and standards. Creating and updating rules and standards related to ship safety, construction, and operation. Assessment services overseeing and evaluating ship design, construction, repair, and maintenance. Issuance of certificates, confirming that a ship meets rules and standards, and issuing relevant certificates. Assessment, approval, and certification. Among the numerous services provided by classification societies, understanding assessment and certification is crucial for seafarers. Survey. In maritime transport, an assessment involves an independent examination, inspection, measurement, test, or surveillance conducted by inspectors appointed by the flag state or classification societies. Survey. Expert surveyors from classification societies regularly and thoroughly inspect, assess, and test ships. This process involves examining the ship's hull structure, equipment, machinery, and various systems to ensure they fully comply with established standards to maintain their class. Ships undergo a periodic assessment system over a 5-year period. These assessments include initial survey, a comprehensive inspection at the beginning of a ship's life or after significant modifications. Annual surveys, regular inspections conducted annually to ensure the ship's continued seaworthiness. Intermediate surveys, detailed inspections conducted at specific intervals to assess the condition of major components. Renewal or special surveys, thorough inspections carried out at the end of a class period to determine if the ship can be reclassified. Bottom docking surveys, inspections conducted when the ship is in dry dock to assess the underwater hull and other submerged parts. Boiler survey, inspection of the ship's boilers to ensure their safe operation. Machinery survey, inspection of the ship's machinery to ensure it meets operational requirements. Tail shaft survey, inspection of the propeller shaft to assess its condition and alignment. Self-assessment. What are the sources of international maritime law? What is the most important source of international maritime law? What are the 3 entities involved in enforcing international maritime law? Which IMO committee deals with safety of navigation and solace updates? What document proves the nationality of a ship? Name 3 conventions adopted by the International Maritime Committee, IMC. Which entity has the primary responsibility for a ship's compliance with international law? What are the 6 duties of the flag state? What is a ship's registration certificate, and what is its importance? Give 1 reason why some ship owners prefer registering their ships under a flag of convenience. What does it mean for a vessel to have a statutory certificate? What are the organizations called that can carry out inspection duties on behalf of the flag state? Why should seafarers be familiar with the maritime laws of the flag state in addition to international rules? Since ships do not frequently return to the port of registry, which entity is responsible for inspecting ships to ensure compliance with maritime laws? Give 1 practical reason why PSC inspections are important for your own safety on board. What is a port clearance PC, and what is its importance? Name and explain 2 of the most important services that classification societies provide regarding the enforcement of international maritime law. What is the difference between a classification society and a recognized organization, RO? What is IACS? Name 12 of its member societies. Name 3 types of surveys carried out by classification societies. During ship construction, what is the role of a class surveyor? End of Chapter 1. Maritime Academy.